I'd like to welcome everybody to the City of Moose Lake's regular City Council meeting Wednesday, March 11th. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's all right. Next, looking for an approval of the agenda with one exception. Cross out interim city administrator discussion E and replace that please with resolution 20-03-02.
So moved.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? No discussion, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passed. Consent agenda, we have February 12, 2020, City Council regular meeting minutes. And we also have the financial reports from February, financial, payable and financial statements, February 2020. And right now, we do not have a liquor store profit and loss statement due to a computer outage. So we need a motion for the consent agenda, please.
I'll motion to accept the minutes and financial reports.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? No discussion, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Public comment this time is reserved for comments from the public on matters not listed on the agenda. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes. Okay, moving forward, Police Chief. As you can see in the packet, it would look like a pretty busy month. Get to the page that we're on here. 38. 37, 38. $168 calls of service this past month. They spent 5 hours at MSOP and 2 hours at Department of Corrections and 4 hours at ECRC. Also in the chief's letter, it looks like there is some counterfeit 20s, 10s, and $100 bills going around. Advised everyone to make sure that they're making sure that the bills that they're receiving are real. If you have any questions, you can contact the Moose Lake Police Department. There's also a few phone scams going around, so make sure that you know who you're talking to on the phone. Next, we have Public Works Superintendent Report.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, another busy month. We'll kick off your water department. Distributed 4.0 million gallons of drinking water in the month of February. Obviously, you see that it's up a little bit. We have currently 9 services running to prevent from freezing. It's an additional about 330,000 gallons a month extra usage due to that. Sewer department, we're at 10.8 million gallons of wastewater collected in the month of February. Treatment system is still winterized, so there is nothing happened out there here this last month. We will be starting up in April here though with our first spring discharge. Our sanitary sewer program that we do, it's turning into a yearly thing now. You always hear me up here talking about it. We're starting on that. It'll be in April. That's about 20,000 feet. That's the biggest section of pipe that we do. So it will include the entire Sioux Hill and then half the residential area as well. We'll be starting that fairly close to the beginning of April. As soon as temps warm up a little bit more and we can stand and sit out there for 8 to 10 hours at a time. Street department, pothole filling started this week. I know potholes they're bad. They're everywhere. If you have a specific issue that's on your mind, get a hold of the Public Works Department, City Hall. We do it just about weekly, so we'll gladly get you on the list. Appreciate all your comments and criticisms and everything else like that. Catch basins are all de-iced, opened up with a steamer. Everything is good. Water is flowing where it's supposed to be. Snow's melting. Yeah, we're on a good pace there. Did report for our estimated salt usage for the 2020-2021 winter season. We were down considerably this year from previous years, so I shrunk that number down just a little bit. Gives us a leeway since it's through the state bid program. We were able to purchase from 80% to 120% of our amount that I allot for the year. So this year we're way under. So we We brought that number down a little bit. We'll have a credit with MnDOT because I had to still order the 80% quantity as it is. So we hold that credit over until the following year and then work that off throughout the year of 2020 and 2021. Other than that, a couple extras. Frozen water and sewer line policy. I know it's warm out. I know people are starting to get out. They're not worried about that, but I tell you what, the frost is still in the ground and things are still freezing up. So please keep an eye on that. It is the responsibility of the property owner or the resident to monitor the temperature of their water to avoid freezing. If there's any questions, get a hold of the Public Works Department, please. City Hall, they can get you to me. We'd much rather work through it together than have an issue. And then the last thing here, March 26th, I will be in Minneapolis representing you guys. I was asked to present actually at the MPCA conference. We'll be sitting on a panel with a couple other operators down there discussing impacts on I&I throughout the community. We'll be discussing how it impacts the collection system, the wastewater treatment system, the financial impacts of the city, and then some of the success stories. One of our big ones I'm going to bring to is how we now have a lining program in place and how we're spending money on updating our infrastructure. That was a huge step for the city of Moose Lake. It's a lot of money, but we're making progress. So yeah, so I'll be down there, I think 2 weeks from tomorrow. So wonderful. Yeah, that's all I got.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you.
Technology library report.
I don't have anything on that.
City engineer is not here today. Chamber of Commerce update.
I just attended a meeting today. One update is that they are going to be redoing their website. They got a steal of price, so watch out for that in the next, I would say, 4 months. So.
Okay. Previously discussed business. Legacy. Yes, Kendra? Thank you.
Hi, well, my name is Kendra, and I really appreciate the opportunity to come and talk to you guys today about Legacy of Excellence. It is a new foundation for our school, and we can look at this from multiple angles of all the wonderful things that can come from it. Obviously, as parents, we want to support our children, give them the best opportunities possible above and beyond what our school district provides. Also supporting the wonderful teachers that we have, keeping good educators in the community, and also supporting those that are giving back to it already. This is an opportunity to bridge with the community, give the community a voice of what they want to see done for our school, done for our children as well. So if you don't mind, I'll just read our mission statement. So in partnership with our community, Legacy of Excellence is a foundation that supports creative and innovative programs in School District 97, which enable individuals to reach their full potential as learners, participants, citizens, artists, athletes, and contributors to our community. The foundation also awards scholarships to students who impact our community and influence our school district. Legacy of Excellence provides resources for unique experiences and special opportunities that enrich the learning experience. So as you can see, even though we are a new foundation, it really gives us an opportunity to grow as as the needs of our school grows, but also differentiates us from maybe the PTA who looks at the school body as a whole. We can fund individual initiatives, or anything from reimbursing those coaches that are buying our shoes for the kids in the sports that maybe can't afford them. Also giving maybe families a break or support for camps with kids with handicaps to, put them at their full potential to help with homework or whatever it is at home as well. This year, our goals were to kind of finish off getting those funding for the school playground or for the early childhood. So that's going to be one of the things for this year. Being the first year, though, we have kind of those startup costs of the lawyer for all of the legal paperwork. And so I guess that's why we are here today, more to ask for the city's support and any donation that we could provide. We are able to give tax deductions. I'm not sure if that would be, no, okay, I was gonna say, I don't know what it is for the city. But do you guys have questions for me about it?
What other revenue streams are you receiving or have you received so far?
So far we've done one event, and that was more to get the word out to the community. We did a fun family day located at the school. We received profit from that. I'm not sure if do you guys want to know money-wise?
Just wondering if where you're going for these, for the funds.
Yep. So that was our first one, and hopefully each year we'll do one, maybe in the winter, fun family, get kids in, you know, out of the cold, except also get that sense of community as well. Another opportunity to get the community members into our school to see what a beautiful facility we have. We are going to be starting in April in collaboration with Hope Lutheran Children, kind of a fun fundraiser throughout the community. And that money, though, they want to go directly to the playground. And so with the foundation, we can kind of channel money to if somebody wants to donate it to something specific. Probably it will get to be this summer, but at alumni gatherings, we'll ask, you know, there's been multiple alumni looking for places to donate to the school previously, and it kind of, I don't want to say it gets lost in the general fund, but the superintendent says that would be a really great place for alumni to donate to. So that is to come. And then we've got one more, hopefully really fun and great adult-only type of event, probably the end of June, and that'll be in collaboration with the PTA. So it'll be, I hope to see you all there when that comes out.
Thank you. Any questions from the council?
This would be going towards here, what you have written down here, the playground, the mini moose and kindergarten classes.
I would say after we do our fundraiser here in April with the church, I think that's going to satisfy going to the playground for the year.
Okay.
And so we would like to give more of those, you know, for families in need of after-school programs or different things like that this year, hopefully. But we ultimately still have our costs for the legal fees coming in, and so that most likely is what the city would go towards.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'll either entertain a motion on this, or we can table it until we have a full council next meeting.
Suggest you go ahead.
So next, if we could put it on the agenda
Yep.
for next month. And
Yeah, next month we'll have a full council here. We're missing a couple today, so
Would you like me to attend again?
I don't think, I think we're probably good unless you want to come back, you certainly can. But I don't think you need to.
And then we kind of discussed as a board, oh, I guess I should have said that. Do you want me to?
Sure. Yep.
Sorry about that, I forgot to mention my awesome board. Myself, and then I've got Mike Ewell, Sasha Narayan, Jill St. Pierre, and Vicki Radzak is not in this paper, but she has joined our board as well. So we've kind of got a really great team working together. And then we weren't sure if we were supposed to request a certain amount or if you guys.
Just however much you're looking at, this being that this is the first year that we've
Mhm.
received this, we don't have any guidelines to go off of,
We
so.
had no guidelines either. I'm going to throw out $5,000 and whatever would be very much appreciated.
Okay.
Okay.
yeah, the funds that we use traditionally are around, the entire fund is like about $1,500 to $1,900 for the year.
Yeah.
We would appreciate anything. We had no idea.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
The 2020 Local Board of Appeal and Equalization meeting is April 23rd.
And that's all I have. Yep, that's all I have, just a reminder.
Any discussion on the garage removal?
Yes, we got no bids. So what Phil and I kind of did, well, Phil did, is he got 3 bids from some local contractors, Goble, Buto, and Land Logic. And we also really thought long and hard about what we could do with that building for the city. And it's just too big. big. It's too big to move, which is why we didn't get any bids on it. It would cost more than what the building is worth. So I don't know if you have anything to add on that. Yeah, we got 3 bids to do the demolition of the building. They're gonna leave the slab. The slab will be taken care of by whoever gets awarded the work for the well house. But yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get any bids.
Keep in mind that looking at this, our cost to rent a machine and dumpsters was $4,800.
Yeah, and so we did go that route also. Phil got some quotes on the garbage containers and the rental of the equipment, and even that was over what we got,
So
so.
4,800 was for us to do it ourselves.
Correct.
And it looks like Buto Trucking and Excavating is the lowest bid at $3,456.
Correct.
Would that be your recommendation?
Yes.
They got different descriptions for their work here. These bids are all to do the same amount of work, the same stuff?
Yep.
Okay.
Any discussion by the council or a motion? Okay, we have a motion to take Buto's bid at $3,456. Do we have a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passed. Baseball nets.
That's in your packet also. I sent an email out requesting if we could purchase 1 set of nets instead of the 2 sets of nets that were originally, I guess, requested. And I got some responses from a couple of you. And I just wanted to make sure everyone was okay with me purchasing 1 set of nets. And then if the Baseball Association wants to purchase a 2nd set, they are more than welcome to do so.
These would be community nets then?
Yep, yep.
And not just for the school?
It would be, well, they'd stay at the arena. They'll stay at the arena and yes, and they're not specifically for the school. They're for, more so for the baseball, well, younger kids, so.
Any questions by the council?
What was the actual cost on it again?
I have both of them in there, so.
784.
$968.97.
$968?
Yep. So just under 1,000.
Any discussion or motion?
Let us put it in there too, that we'll pay for 1 as long as they pay for the other one. We want to just say that we purchase one.
Or you want to make the motion?
I guess I would like to make it, they buy one, that they have to buy one.
You want to make it so it's required, it's 2 or none? Okay.
Is that your motion? Do you have a second to that?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. New business, A, we have a resignation. We don't need the approval since it's a resignation.
I think we do normally get a motion, yeah.
Need a motion to accept the resignation of Officer Jamie Jungers.
Also move.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Resolution 2301-01, awarding the sale of general obligations equipment, certificate of indebtedness series 2020, the original aggregate principal amount of $79,000.
Yeah, this is the
Equipment.
resolution that the lawyers prepared for me, and I included the fee schedule on page 62, and kind of how, just so you guys know my course of action. I haven't had a chance to go talk to Augustana yet, but I'm going to talk to her about what grants even if it's a little bit, will help towards this. So, I am planning on doing that.
It sounded like they had.
Yeah,
funds available,
opportunities,
so
yeah, yep.
It'd be nice not to spend.
Right. And then at the end of each fiscal year, once I get all of the money, I will probably bring to you guys a suggestion and maybe putting some more towards principal after the end of each year. So we'll just have to see how it all shakes out.
This was previously discussed last month. Are there any questions by the council? I have a motion for the resolution.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. 2019 Mercy Hospital Annual Report. John Lund.
Thank you for granting me a few minutes to give a little bit of update on Mercy. In your packets, you have the statement of revenue and expenses and the balance sheet. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that, but basically, as you can see, between 2018 and 2019, expenses are going up and revenue is not. So that's not a good thing. If you can look at our operating loss is $1.2 million for the last year. We did have non-operating revenue, which includes the district levy. And so we had a operating loss of $57,000 for the past year. Couple of things in the levy, I brought it up in the past. We have 4 criteria that we're looking at to take the levy out. You know, we want to be meeting these guidelines: operating margin, capitalization, debt coverage ratio, and days of cash on hand. Currently, we're only meeting one of those, although we're close on a couple of them. But the bottom line is the biggest one, operating margin. We're nowhere close on that one. So these indicators that we're looking at were from the last time the levy was discontinued back in 1999. And unfortunately, on my time in the boards, the last 3 years, we haven't made as much progress as we would have liked to have seen on that. So that kind of leads into the big thing that's happened over the last year. Mercy Hospital actually sent out an RFP looking to partner with a potential health system. And there were 6 different health systems that were interested, anywhere from Gateway to Essentia, Marshfield Clinic, St. Luke's, Community Memorial in Cloquet, and Centricare based in central Minnesota. And out of those 6, we got 5 proposals back. I believe Centricare declined because geographically it just didn't make any sense. So some of the reasons that we're looking at this, why join a health system, is basically we're not meeting our mission the way we need to. We need to provide high quality health care, be a leader in this region for the health of the community in the area, and that's, quite frankly, it's just not where it needs to be. So the primary drivers behind this decision in sending out an RFP, and then, well, let me back up. So everyone sent it in, and we analyzed all the proposals, and we decided to go with Essentia. It was pretty clear that was the best option. I was hoping some other health systems would have had a little better proposal, but unfortunately they did not. So the primary reason behind this decision and looking at this potential partnership with Essentia is first and foremost declining inpatient market share over the past decade. It's basically been a 50% decline since 2008. There was a nice little bump overall with inpatient and overall when the new hospital came in 2015. But over the last 11, 12 years, it's been steadily declining other than that. And the other thing is just the healthcare industry. There's declining reimbursement rates from insurance companies. Hospital CEOs, their top 5 priorities, 3 of them are related to reducing cost. There's not much for revenue growth in the healthcare industry at this time, especially for a rural hospital. The other thing, or a couple other things, there's competition in recruiting physicians, especially in rural areas. There's a scarcity. You know, it's hard to get highly qualified individuals to come to a rural setting. You know, when you have people health systems that can pay a lot more and be in an urban area. And then, like I touched on, it's an increase in the overall cost of healthcare. So the goals of our potential partnership would be to retain and grow jobs, recruit primary and specialty care physicians in order to grow our services, so not just the jobs in general, but the services that we offer. And one of the other big things is installing Epic, which is an integrated medical record. And we're currently on Meditech, which in this area, the upper Midwest, especially Minnesota and Wisconsin, it's virtually an epic world that we live in. They're based in, I believe, Verona, Wisconsin. And what that allows is Epic, if you go to someone else, say, health system like Mayo, that's on Epic, it's really easy to send the medical record from one Epic shop to another one. So it's pretty seamless behind the scenes as far as getting your medical records where they need to be. And it's, in my opinion, a much better system than Meditech. Unfortunately, the price tag that comes along with that is in the millions. It's anywhere for $3 to $5 million for Mercy to upgrade the system. So obviously, we don't have that kind of cash around to do that. And also, one of the other goals of the partnership is the way we're looking at this proposal is it would be 100% owned by Essentia, thereby it would eliminate the tax levy. So that eventually would go away. I believe that's on a calendar year basis, so the levy is scheduled to go through December 31st of this year. Our goal for Essentia is July 1st, and right now we're on track for that. So I'd have to get more detail on how that process is going to work, and if Essentia is owned 100%, takes over Mercy, the hospital board would go away. So that's one of the downfalls. Personally, I'd love to stay independent if we could, if everything else were equal, but unfortunately in healthcare, it's just not the case anymore. And I'm proud of this community, this hospital that's lasted as an independent health system for so long, to be quite frank with you. So right now, we have leadership from Mercy, meeting with leadership from Essentia. We started in November 26th, and it's basically been meeting twice a month in person on those. Let's see, what else do I need to cover here? So a little bit on the integration team. It includes board members, hospital administration, legal representation from Mercy, and then also administrative leaders and legal representation from Essentia. Like I said, we're making good progress. It was anticipated to take 4 to 6 months. I think we're right on schedule for that. Nothing's set in stone. We're doing our due diligence, we're negotiating, we're trying to save as many jobs as we can, or all if we can. I don't know if that's possible, but that's the way we've been approaching it, because naturally that's a concern to everyone. You know, our job's gonna stay here. And so far, that's been what the answer we've been getting back from Essentia. So that's high on our list. In addition to the other things, it's just making sure we can retain the jobs that are here. And then also one of the other things we've been having department heads from Mercy meeting with department heads from their peers in Essentia. So far, there's been positive feedback on that. And then also we actually have an Essentia urologist that will be starting services in March here. Unfortunately, Dr. Stillwell passed away in that plane crash, so we're finally getting around to replacing him. It's a long process, and that person's coming from Essentia. So if there's anything that you have, you know, certainly if you have questions right now, I'd be happy to answer them the best I can. But in the last year, we did hire Mike Yuso as the CEO, and I could certainly set up a meeting if any of the counselors or the mayor would like to discuss some specifics on this situation, or just the hospital in general. So open it up if you guys have any questions.
Who's gonna own it?
That would be Essentia.
In other words, once they take over, all that property belongs to Essentia.
Correct. They'd be assuming the debt as well.
They take all the debt with it.
Correct. And right now, I believe that's about 38 million.
Does Essentia pay property tax?
Essentia is a nonprofit,
Yeah, I don't think so.
so I don't think that would change at all. But again, the big thing is we're looking is to retain jobs, grow jobs, expand services, because this is I don't know if you've all been in there, but it's a tremendous facility. We are so lucky to have this facility in a rural setting like this. I mean, it's everyone that comes in here is just amazed at how, the quality of the facility.
I think we have a good hospital, but my thoughts on this, not necessarily with Essentia.
Yeah, it's not an easy decision. And nothing's set in stone. At the end of it, we have the proposal there. The board can still vote yes or no.
One of the struggles that rural America is having right now is medical help. And by us being lucky enough to have that hospital here, we don't so much have that problem as other areas of rural America. So it's definitely, we want to do everything we can to keep that hospital going. One thing I do worry about is if he essentially takes over and they own 100% of it, if, say, it was starting to struggle, would essentially have an easier time shutting it down and just walking away from it than, say, if it was still the way that it was here with all the local workers and stuff like that. Obviously, we don't know what the future is going to bring, but that's just one thing that I worry about.
Well, I'd say that we're at just as much risk, if not more of that happening if we don't change anything. If the
Okay.
status quo continues, long-term, we can't survive. Short-term, we're fine. Within 5 years, we're all right, but beyond 5 years, it's looking pretty grim.
Okay.
Because insurance companies are finding, I work in the revenue cycle in my day job, and what I'm hearing from hospitals all over the country are denials. Insurance companies are finding any way they can to not pay hospitals, quite frankly. And I know that might sound a little cynical, but that's one of the biggest problems facing the healthcare industry and hospitals in particular are denials, whether that's for prior authorizations or however they're medical necessity. Denials are huge, and when you have a small hospital like this, we don't have all the resources to fight the big insurance companies, quite frankly.
Okay.
Anything else?
Ted's on vacation right now in
Sure.
Arizona, so he's enjoying the nice weather.
Lucky guy.
Yeah, I will ask him when he gets back next week if he wants to set up a meeting with Mike, just in case he has any specific questions. I'm sure he was kind of bummed out he was missing this presentation, so
Yeah,
I'll shoot you an email.
Yeah, and Mike will be happy to meet with whoever.
Sure.
So,
Yep.
Thank you for your time, appreciate it.
thank you.
Fire hydrant markers.
So I know this is technically under $1,500, so we just wanted to make sure you guys knew that we did research this. The difference isn't very much, so I don't know if there's a better one than the other. But there's about 100 hydrants that are missing the flags, and they can put these up when they are flushing the spring. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys want to make a motion and just.
I was wondering if Phil has any input on which one, if we did decide to buy one, which one would.
Doesn't matter.
Which one is easier to put on?
They both mount the same.
Is one higher than the other?
Like taller?
Yes. I see 53 inches on one, but I didn't see the hydrant there. Unless I missed it. Unless they're both.
I guess I'm not sure. I thought one was 48, one was 53.
So maybe the 1249 one is 48?
Do you want the taller one?
Well, I would think
Might as
that
well.
it might as well, the best visibility we have.
We got that. We'll order the taller ones.
Do we need a motion on that, or?
It's within.
Yeah.
Good for those.
No, I mean, sorry, we don't, no.
All right, moving on to E, that was resolution.
And this resolution is for any of the DMV cabinets, desks, any office equipment that we no longer need, to put it just up on auction like we've done with, I think, most everything in the past. So I don't exactly know specifically what items that will be yet. We're gonna try and make some of the stuff work for the new renovation, but just in the event that we can't, I just kind of made it as general as possible.
Okay, there's some discussion from the council about possibly trying to use the equipment, if at all possible or needed, in any other government capacity before selling it.
Yep.
if we're talking about that and then with the resolution as well, that our first choice would be to try to use it here and then we can okay it if it's not used. So we need a motion then for resolution 020302.
So made.
I'll second.
Motion and second, any discussion? No discussion, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passed.
And with that, I guess I should let you guys know, next week, the DMV will be closed for the office renovation, and so that's why I put this in here, because I don't want it sitting in my office for another month. But yeah, all week, we're hoping it'll only take a week, it might take another day in that following week, but we're hoping it can get all done the week of the 16th, so.
Just backing up a little bit, the police chief is now here. We did go through your report. Is there anything that you'd like to discuss? We did talk about the counterfeit bills that are around, but if you'd like to come up to the podium, you can.
One other thing. Apologize for being late, till I got tied up there. There's also been, along with the counterfeit bills, there's a lot of license plates and tabs that are being stolen off people's cars. So just for the community to be aware of that, kind of keep an eye. If they see anything missing, make sure to let us know. A lot of gas drive-offs and stuff that people are using them on and toxin, but there's been quite a few of them lately, so. Other than that, there's nothing more. There's no report.
All right, thank you so much. Any reports or correspondence? Also in the packet is the committee and board meeting minutes, January 20th, 2020, Moose Lake Water and Light. Their organizational meeting and their regular meeting, same date. Also February 12th, 2020, Moose Lake Economic Development Authority regular meeting. February 24th, 2020, Moose Lake Planning Commission meeting, and March 2nd, the Moose Lake Parks and Rec. Any questions on those minutes?
Lifeguards, I said that you're gonna start looking for them in there. Do you know that?
Ted actually talked to the park board about that. He's going to contact Barney Hollis to see if he's interested in heading that again. He tried last year and just didn't.
Yeah, having luck with it.
Yeah, yep. So I think that's the route they were planning on going.
And then I believe it also said in there if they do not find lifeguards, that they will not be putting on the docks.
Yeah, yep, there's a dock that they'll just not put out.
Announcements, regular Moose Lake City Council meeting.
Yeah, sorry, use this one.
Will be April, thank you, April 8th at 4 p.m. at the Moose Lake City Town Hall Board Chambers. Moose Lake Economic Development Authority is Wednesday, April 15th at noon at the City Conference Room. Moose Lake Water and Light Commission regular meeting Tuesday, March 24th at 3 p.m. at the Water and Light Office. Moose Lake Housing and Redevelopment Authority Board meeting Monday, April 13th at 11 a.m. at Hillside Manor Office. The Moose Lake Area Fire District meeting is Tuesday, April 14th at 6:30 p.m. at the Emergency Response Center. And the Moose Lake Park Board meeting is Monday, April 6th at 6:30 at the Town Board Chamber. And the library meeting is April 13th at 1 p.m. at the City Conference Room.
When's the next chamber?
It's now the same day as our city council meeting, but I don't know where.
Good question. Nothing else, a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Any discussion? No discussion, all those in favor? Aye. Motion passed. Thank you.